Welcome back from that quick timeout. Now, like I said earlier, we're going to be opening the phone lines to hear from you about what we are going to be looking into. Loan for palliatives. Do you support the move? Now, Nigeria's recent move to secure a $2.25 billion loan from the World Bank has sparked wide debate, particularly with $800 million earmarked for palliatives under the National Social Safety Net program. This development comes amid economic reforms that have increased hardship for many citizens following the removal of fuel subsidy and currency unification. While the government argues that these loans will provide critical support to millions of vulnerable Nigerians, questions remain about sustainability, transparency, and long-term impact. Now, if you agree with me and everything that we just read out, you see that, the loans are actually becoming much for Nigeria at this point, because, the 800 million is there, and now, should I say, 800 million, if you remember a while back, that was also, collected for some purposes in Nigeria, and now another $2.25 billion is what they want to secure, and it's relating to palliatives and what have you. What do you think from this opening? Do you think this is a welcome idea? Do you think it's the way forward?
Sometimes I don't understand these issues. We have a lot of loans, we've collected lots of loans. Though the president paid one yesterday, but it's still not enough. And I feel like the palliatives are not enough to collect loans from, number one, at the end of what you said Nigerians are asking questions, sustainability, transparency, and what have you. And I feel like I feel the same. This money, they keep collecting them, the loans, they keep collecting. We don't know what they do with it. We don't see anything. Even if I'm very sure they collected, but you will not see anything. Have you ever seen any turnout from this loan? We don't see anything. So I feel like it's very unnecessary. It's not really necessary.
Now I've gotten your feedback. Now we're going to be displaying the phone numbers on your screens. Do well to call us. If you can't call us on any of the numbers showing on your screen, you can as well do well to drop us WhatsApp messages, which we will definitely read out your support, or if you're against this particular loan for palliatives that we're talking about. Well, like I said, please, if you're calling, stay away from your TV set, reduce the volume of your TV in case even if you want to hear yourself, or stay far away from your TV set while you communicate with us, so to avert any delays and, any issue that may crop. Well, like you said, so people are actually asking questions about the long-term impact, and then also transparency, like you mentioned, and sustainability. Is a different thing when you start something and you're able to continue with that thing. We start seeing results somehow when we start, then it just disappears somehow. We don't get to hear about it. But we already have our first caller. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Fatima.
Good morning, Shatima. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. What's your take on what we're talking about? Do you support the loan for palliatives?
Honestly speaking, Fatima, this topic comes to me as a surprise, because for so many occasions we have been crying in this country. Every sensitive citizen was crying that this palliative is supposed to stop. Not talk less of to take a loan on it. For what? This palliative, when it comes to distribution, is not the real beneficiaries that they are enjoying that palliative. Because we see the way and manner this palliative was distributed. It was distributed to the errand boy of the politicians and the close relation of the politicians. The real poor Nigerian was not enjoying this palliative. And it is kind of new form of looting of a government treasury in the name of palliative. That is what this present government is doing. And we are crying and we are asking to stop this attitude. We don't like it. We are not in support of it. To take loan for palliative, why can't you secure the country, provide security for the country, create job opportunities for the youth to have something doing? We Nigerians, we are not lazy. We have creativity. We are strong enough to pitch for what we will eat, if at all atmosphere is secured. Provide security for us. That's what we are crying for. Provide security for us and see what we will do for ourselves. But you have been saying palliative. What palliative? How many years are they talking about palliative? Is there any change? No change. Nothing has been showing up. All these loans that they are collecting, there is nothing to show in commensurate of the amount that they have collected. And our fear is we are going to leave this loan, accumulated loan, for the coming generation, and they will never forget. The coming generation, they will never forgive us, because we have packed loans for them, and there is nothing to show. You see, it's very, very unfortunate. I don't know why they are reasoning this way. Why we are not after palliative. We are not after palliative. What we are after is rather, if they cannot provide security for us, they should revive cooperative. Cooperative is a shop in the 80s, where government can bring food in and sell it in a subsidized price, whereby with a small amount of money you can go and make your shopping, reasonable shopping. That's what we are expecting from them. We are not after palliative. We don't want palliative. Palliative is a way of making a citizen to be lazy. We are not in support of it, honestly speaking. So they should do something reasonable. They should do something reasonable. It's not, be giving out palliative all the time. So happy nice time. May Allah bless us.
Thank you so much, Shatima, for your contribution this morning. I mean, you could hear the anger in his voice when he was talking about, we just kept talking about insecurity. We need security. We need the lives of people to be safe. When people are actually safe, they can actually work for themselves and, get whatever it is they need in a country where there is security. I don't think people will have any reason to complain. And, he made mention of, give us security, we don't need palliatives, because they keep saying palliatives, and then you keep seeing, same thing like you said, does it even get to the right people when we see these palliatives and they said they're going to distribute to people and what have you? Because like I said, we'll start seeing like, oh yes, they'll show us that these are the things that they're going to distribute. All these few states that you can actually see that they actually give out these palliatives and they show it for people to see. Well, let's pick this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Do we still have the caller?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Anastasia. I'm calling from Daybreak.
Thank you so much, Anastasia, for joining us this morning. I'm so happy that a lady is actually calling this morning. Thank you so much.
I am in total support of what Shetima just said now. And to add to it, the government keep increasing taxes on especially the government workers. Meanwhile, those loans come in, the government workers don't get, even if they get, their state parties collect everything from the beneficiaries, and at the end of the day, they will have to pay a lump sum of money that they have not benefited anything from. Especially, let me give you an example of COVID-19 loan that was supposed to be like a palliative to for the country, and at the end of the day, they paid this COVID-19 with the third party collecting more than half of that money. And people had to pay those money back. Instead of enjoying what they have gotten as a loan, they collected everything and people didn't get anything out of it. So how would you get any feedback, or how would you get any turn of from a loan that has more than half has been collected back by a third party who had no business collecting any money. So I don't see why the government should be giving loans or palliatives instead of giving security or providing security for the country that people enjoy and go back to their farms. You could see people running around the streets. I'm talking from Benue. I know what is happening in Benue. We can't even go to our farms now because of insecurity. People had gone back to the farms. Those that had stayed long in towns, and they saw an opening. They all went back to the farms. But before you know it, all of them had run back now. They can't do anything. People had cleared places to work, but they cannot farm again. And already we are in the middle of the farming season. By June, some of those crops, you can't plant them again. And you have less to feed on. So the government should look into security seriously. On your paper review this morning, they were talking about strategies. Why would you be discussing your strategies of how to cope insecurity to the public? Even though this is not what you are talking about, but then if insecurity should be tackled, it shouldn't be disclosed. We just want to see answers. We just want to see results. And those palliative issues, please, the government should look into it. It's not the palliative that will curtail all the sufferings. It's good governance. By the time we have good governance, I bet you we will not need all those palliatives. In fact, the people in the villages will supply those ones in the cities good food, and they won't need anything like palliative. Even the agricultural loans they give, that it doesn't get to the farmers. So this 2-point-something billion you're talking about, at the end of the day, we'll see people going to EFCC, and at the end of the day, they will bear them with 1 million or 2 million, and that's niches. It doesn't work like that. This country should redesign their strategies on tackling issues that are more inclined to the masses, because they don't bother about the masses at all. All they bother is their political affiliations, and that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anastasia, for your take. And like I said earlier, Mariam, you could hear the anger in their voice.
Of course.
And because Shatima actually made a vital point that we don't need palliatives. People don't need it.
It's
people
utterly
are crying for insecurity.
Fatima.
You just read in front of one of the pages that a CCTV camera just captured a 5-year-old girl or a child being abducted. And we talked about what if the family didn't even know without the CCTV camera being there. That is the insecurity that we are talking about. The safety of our lives and our children, our properties is what we're actually talking about. We need the government to do more than what they're doing right now. Palliative is not the problem at this point.
And that was why I said it's really, really unnecessary, because the most important people, I feel the most important people in a nation are the youth. How many youth can boast of a good job in this economy?
Let's come back to this after this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and location, please.
My name is Sulaiman. I'm calling from Kogi State.
All right, thank you so much for joining. Go ahead. What's your take?
Thank you very much. You see this palliative issue of a thing that we are talking about. How many people, how many households has it helped so far? Now people are crying, people are dying on a daily basis due to this insecurity of a thing. And what is our government doing?
Okay, we can't hear you if you're still here.
It's like
Well, I think there's a network issue because we can't hear you. Please do well to call us back again if you can hear us at this point. So yeah, Anastasia actually made a lot of points also.
Exactly.
You're talking about how many youth can boast of having jobs. At this point, we've been crying about job creation since the era of former President Muhammadu Buhari. We kept talking about this, that we're going to create 10,000 jobs. I'm just giving an instance, which we know that it's beyond that. We're going to create 1 million jobs for Nigerians. We're going to create this amount of jobs for Nigerians. Where are the jobs now?
Where are the jobs?
And there are cases that I've heard where people could actually even offer money to see if they can get a job, and they don't even get it with their own money just because they want to have something to do in a country where I feel jobs should be easy when you've graduated from school, you've served. The next thing that should be easy for you to access is a job.
Even if they want to collect a loan, they should be talking about building industries, companies, you understand?
Why are you not talking about revamping the industries that we already have, textile,
exactly,
and the rest?
Another one, but they are all dead. Why are you not talking about, like you said, revamping and upgrading and what have you, to allow that these people, these youths especially, to get jobs, you understand? And you will get a turnover that you pay the loan with. But there's nothing.
Well, I mean,
there's a saying that says, don't give somebody a fish. Teach him how to catch a fish. But for sustainability,
aside from giving back and all that, what happens to the crude? I feel there was a time where there was a debate or argument going on, and they said crude should be one thing that should be used to pay the loans that are being collected in this countries. But let's pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Your name and location, please.
I am Powder from Benue.
Sorry, I didn't get the name.
Powder.
Bauda.
Mr. Dauda?
Dauda?
Powder, P-A-U-D-A.
Powder, okay.
Powder.
Okay. All right, thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead, what's your take?
Yeah. I am in support of the first caller who talked about government, about the issue of the government sending palliative, but the palliative are not actually getting to the right persons. I witnessed this firsthand in the local government where I come from. This palliative are sent down here, and the people in charge, first of all, take their own share when it gets to the locals. The local government chairman, the councillors, and the party faithfuls, they take their own share. It even goes to the traditional rulers before getting to the people whom these palliatives are mainly meant for. And at the end of the day, you find out that the common people goes home with a milk cup, or sometimes if they have much, it's a mood. And I believe this cannot take them anywhere. But the government spends so much money on these things. It is in millions, sometimes in billions of dollars. And these loans have to be paid at some level, thereby putting the country into some difficult situation. And I believe the government is doing all of this because of maybe the issue of poverty in the country. I'm a farmer, and I've been displaced by this farmer headers clashes since 2011. There is nowhere for you to go and farm. And before this issue came up, I produce a lot of food that takes care of me. I sell and sometimes fund my children's education. But now that this problem is everywhere has been displaced. The local government where I come from had 15 council wards, and the people have been restricted to the local government headquarters, which is Naka. You cannot even go out to find firewood around to cook if you have anything to eat. So I really advise that the government should solve the insecurity problems so that the farmers can produce their food, sell it even to the people in the cities, so that we can be able to take care of ourselves, take care of our children's school fees, and so many other things, instead of the government sending palliatives to us that cannot even help us. They don't even get to the common man at all. They don't have a statistic that they can be sure that these are people who are really in need of this palliative. So it end up getting into the wrong hands. That's my take on the issue.
All right. Thank you so much, Paudak, for your take on this topic this morning. And yes, everyone is actually against, the palliative. So, but then a thought just came to my mind. Palliative is actually just temporary. What happens when the funds runs out? Do you understand? And then there are other debates. There are other debates whether loans for short-term consumptions are even sustainable. And then also, whenever these loans are collected, we don't even get to see reports, audits of what the outcome is like. On the public domain, it's always excluded.
There's no transparency.
Yes. And you know, this is exactly what Nigerians need. If you are collecting loans, I feel Nigerians just feel you're collecting it for yourselves because it's going to be shared. That's how the Nigerians feel. It's going to be shared amongst them or what have you, because that's the thing. It's just a short time effect of this, loans whenever it's collected. Initially, the $800 million that was collected is for the cash transfer purposes. What happened to that issue of the cash transfer? What happened to the $800 million that was collected? We've not even seen any report, any audits about this particular thing that we're talking about. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ladies. How are you?
We're fine, thank you.
Good morning.
What's your name and location, please?
My name is Ade. I'm calling from London.
Thank you so much, Ade, for joining us this morning.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
My view, I listened to all the comments, but none of them have mentioned the unofficial ministry that is very, very efficient in Nigeria, which is the Ministry of Corruption. See, all these things is corruption, palliative corruption. Because when you say palliative, who are you giving palliative to? How can Nigeria be living in IDP camp in their own country and government is unable to do anything? I've never had it in my life. And they are hiding under the palliative. You don't need palliative. Like every caller have said, Nigeria are very hard-working people. They are not lazy. They work very hard to get whatever they want. You understand? So, for government now, for me, it's really disappointing for me to see my country descend so low in this level, in the tune of palliative. I remember when Metasine happened when I was living in Kano in 1980. There's not like palliative. The government came in. Buhari was in just there as a military officer. They came into Kano and they made sure everything died down. There's nobody in RDB camp, no palliative, nothing. We experienced for a few days and the thing was quenched in 1980. You see, after then, many few ones occur. No palliative. I don't know why we are this. Maybe because we are in civilian democracy or whatever they call it. That's why we are experiencing all this corruption. Because palliative is corruption. You cannot, EFCC cannot probe it. Because it's palliative. You don't know, they just see people gather somewhere, say they drove them from their village. What stop government from sending them back to their village and give them security? If we don't have enough army or police, let them get more. So that because without security, there is no country. People can't move anywhere. People in my own state, those states, I was seeing online, a guy was kidnapped. And they kidnapped the guy, but luckily, after 3 days in the bush, he was rescued. He was not telling the Amateur people who was like local security that it is those people repairing the phone in their town that is giving the informant to kidnappers. You can imagine, why are we like this? We love ourselves. I don't know when Nigeria become all these things. People will not be giving police. And when they corrupt, when they arrest them, the moment they get to court, the case is over. Nothing again for the next 10 years. Everybody will forget. Like I normally say, Nigeria will operate on microwave system. When the thing happens, everybody will cry. After a few days, it's forgotten. That's how we operate. Whereas here, a case of 30 years ago, somebody did it. When they catch the person, the man was sentenced.
Is the caller still there? Okay.
I think we've lost Mr. Ade. Well, thank you for your contribution. If you can also hear us, I'm sure maybe there's a reason for that. But, you know, he has actually made some valid points. I mean, all the callers are actually making points that I hope and I feel that Nigerians and the government, someone is watching and they are going to do something about this. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you speak up a bit, please? Your name and location.
Okay, I am.
It's not audible.
I'm calling from Cross River.
We cannot hear you.
Okay, I am Mr. Stanley. I'm calling from Cross River State.
Okay. Stanley from Cross River State.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead. What's your take?
Okay. I want to contribute to what is the discussion on ground. The issue of my take here is that the issue of palliative. Our leaders, they know what they are doing. They don't mean to tackle any problem. What they are always doing is that creating an avenue for them to enrich themselves. From the beginning of this palliative story, is it something that is strange to them that it has never worked and it will never work? They know. They are only using it to confuse us, make us believe they are doing something. They know that what they are doing is not well intended. They don't have any good intention towards the people. The thing it baffles me why we have people who call our leaders. They behave as if they are enemies. They just you can't just believe. You can't just understand why our leaders are behaving as if they are our enemies. So the whole story of trying to giving loans for palliatives and all this and all that, they know where the money will end. Okay, they started the issue of this student loan. Where is the student loan? How many children have received it? The money will normally go down somewhere. They know when they want money, they will float one thing, and then at the end of the day, they will share it. It's very painful. It's very sad. Very sad. I don't know why we are here. I just believe that God will just help us. God just needs to show us mercy in Nigeria because we are in the hand of terrible people, terrible individuals. And I don't know for how long it will continue. God will just help us. Thank you very much for doing.
Thank you so much for your contribution. And like I said earlier, a lot of the callers actually are against this move, obviously, which we have already seen. And another thing that also caught my attention is the fear of growing debt on the future generations, that they will have to come and face this issue. Because if you look at coming down from the history of, let's say, starting from when Obasanjo was on seat to down to Abdulsalam, to Yaradua, to Jonathan, and the rest down up until date, there are different borrowings that are yet to be even paid.
Exactly.
And then every regime inherits this debt from the outgoing presidents or whatever office.
Then they come borrow their own too,
and then someone will also come and then borrow again, just because they want to, either complete the project that this person is leaving behind, or they'll start their own project without even continuing the one that is left behind. And then they had the need for borrowings, and we're yet to see anything. Well, let's not forget, earlier we just read about the privileged children battling for political, fighting political battles and what have you. You're fighting for political positions, or whatever position you're vying for. You're coming to inherit debt, and you're going to be thinking of how you're going to pay the debt, and before you know it, you may not even have the time to do what you're supposed to do in the office, the position that you're occupying.
The problem is, I don't think they want to occupy those offices for what you just mentioned.
Yes, exactly. But let's take this call. Hello, good morning. I think it's going to be our last call.
Good morning, Fatima. Shetima Kudima from Meduguri call back.
Thank you so much for calling back again.
Thank you. Honestly speaking, Fatima, you can sample opinions of Nigeria from now to 48 hours coming. It's hardly to hear somebody who will support this idea. Because these people, they are trying to destroy our society. They are trying to destroy our economy. But God will not permit them. Inshallah. You see, Fatima, if at all you are a reasonable leader, you are a credible leader, you come with the people in your heart, the people that give you mandate. Palliative is not a solution. You want to create problem in solving problems. This is a bad idea. I think loan can never be a solution to the economy of a nation. You see, Fatima, what we are requiring in this country is to secure our environment, to provide adequate security. As I told you, Nigerians are not lazy. We can do to provide means of life for ourselves, and to give the government the taxes that they require. Even now, they have created artificial poverty on us. and still we are paying tax. You see, what we are expecting from them is to create entrepreneurship, to create vocational training centers where they will train our youth the skill of hard working. We are tired of all these theory schools. We want entrepreneur where they will teach our children how to make things out of their hand for survival. That's what we're expecting from them. And security is number one. And also, they should provide farming tools for our farmers. It's a pity today, look at our population, over 200 million. Our farmers, they are still using hoe to feed this country. These farmers, they are heroes. They are heroes, honestly speaking. With couple of insecurity in the bushes. But these farmers still going to the farm and till and provide food for over 200 million population. You see, it is very, very confusing. The ideology and the theories that government is applying is even a 7 years old child can understand that this is not a good government. This is not a good government. What we are expecting them is to bring something better for us so that we will survive. But this thing that they are doing, look at the power sector. The power sector is nothing to tell about. There is no power in the country. All these petty business, they have been dying naturally because of lack of power. You see, that's the fundamental problem that we are facing. Rain will fall, no fertilizer for our farmers. They should make a style for themselves to farm. So it's a pity. It's a pity. We don't know what they are doing. Accumulating loans for the country. Is this the ideology that they come with it? We said no for any loan, no further loan. We said no. And this is our stand.
All right, thank you, Shatima. Well, the call just dropped, I guess. But, let's just quickly rush into some of the WhatsApp messages before we, proceed. This is coming from, well, you forgot to put your name, but you said, good morning, Trust TV. This billions is for embezzlement in the side of those in authority. Please, tinubu, pay pensioners their retirement money, not propaganda. Well, please, next time, do well to put your name and location where you're sending this message to us from. And then this is coming also, the person has also forgotten to put their name and location, but then luckily I can see that it's coming from Oyeyemi Ezekiel Adewale. Good morning, ma. The government uses palliative to cover up their corruption practices because it can't be traced. I think that's what you want to say. Well, thank you so much for that. And, these are people's takes that they cannot call in this morning. This is coming from Kelvin from Onitsha, Anambra State. He said palliative is a scam in a country where their citizens are now slaves to the government. It's palliative creating jobs, security, and so on. Palliative is a scam. Well, Kelvin, thank you for your take this morning on this. And this is like, I wish we can just continue because I know that a lot of Nigerians want to give their views, and if nobody is actually supporting at this point.
It's not something
it's not
to support.
something. Yeah, the mixed reactions that we've gotten this morning has actually given us the necessary feedback that we need if they are supporting or not. Sometimes they see things and they say, oh yeah, we're supporting, but this is not going anywhere. But I just hope maybe the government will actually pick from whatever it is this callers have said, and even some of the WhatsApp messages that we've read, and we see something change after this. What do you think?
I just hope so, because the lack of transparency in this government, it's worrisome. Even if they are going to collect this loan, they should show us a step-by-step.
Yes, in the public domain, for people to have
procedures
access
on
to
how you use
this
these palliatives.
Yeah.
So that you cannot embezzle the money.
Exactly.
Exactly.
without giving us the breakdown of what you actually use the funds to do.
And that's all. And you know, the masses cannot even come out and say something or like challenge the government.
Yes, and
because you're going to be arrested.
Yes, at the same time, we need education for people to understand these things. People to understand why they are collecting loans, what they use it for. People can actually sit down and just make the table themselves to see, okay, this money is not actually doing anything. Someone just talked about student loan. What's happening to it? We've seen results of some students saying yes, they've collected loan, they've given this amount of thousands of student loan and what have you. But which or how many students have come out to say yes, they have received the loans or they've been paid into the school the account
Nothing.
that they are.
It's already embezzled. That's no two ways about that.
There are circumstances around that which investigations will still be carried out when NELFON came out to say that there are no issues around the student loan and what have you. But there is no rumor there's no smoke without fire, they said. So definitely I know that something will be done. Well, this is the much that we can take. Thank you so much for all your calls and messages this morning. In case you're not able to join us, please do well to do so next week. Monday to Saturday, we're here for you. The phone lines will be open and you'll get to say your points and your views on certain topics and societal topics that we get to pick for you. Well, let's go on a quick break. Like we said earlier, we have a psychologist waiting to join us to tell us how we can navigate this, some of these issues, mental breakdowns that we go through, some challenges that you may not find, the easy access for you to navigate. Just wait around after this break. We'll bring in the psychologist and you hear from her after this break.